Hello, we are Mo2, and we are both we're coaches who are both named Maureen. Mo and Maureen is kind of how we go by, and our emphasis is to help people see life choices and to make good choices for themselves. And we give tips and tell stories in order to give people insight and ways of moving forward in that way. So today we were talking about being in a cage and letting go of that cage. And exploring when we feel like we're in a cage, what is that cage? And what do we do with it? So, Mo, what came to you during the discussion?
Yeah, well, that the cage, like that image, came as a surprise to me when we were talking about my own connection with the idea of busy, where for this past month I've been away from home and having a different experience in working and living, where I don't have my immediate family around who I spend a fair bit of time with. And I had said that, people in my life understand busy. And you asked me about, what about you? and so for me to let go of it, what would it take for me to have a similar kind of flow in my life when I'm returning home? And it was that, oh my God, I felt caged in. I have different responsibilities. What really is at the center of that is it's how I am approaching things and looking at things. And so my mindset and
So the idea of the cage and of staying busy, in a sense, is staying busy a way of thinking that you're making time for yourself. But in the end, the busyness gets in the way of the real thing that you might need, which is maybe just a little bit of rest and relaxation and time to process inward.
yes, and the reality is I do a fair bit of that already. It's the increased confidence that it's okay, the trusting that it's actually not just okay, but important for me to do that, and finding ways to express my commitment to my overall well-being, which includes my work life, my supporting other people in my life, but also commitment to myself and my well-being in a way that has, I'm just thinking, kind of that nice equitable place that I too am worthy and deserving of that.
And what pops into mind is oftentimes people say, oh, I need to, I want to care for my loved ones. And then, but what I notice oftentimes in their behavior is that they're not caring for them as one of their loved ones. They're caring for all the other loved ones. And it seems really common in women.
Yes, I would, I agree with that, and I see it. I see it frequently, and I didn't think I was included in that. This time away has shown me how I too get caught up in that, and it's because we care, I believe, and we want to show, or I'll own it for myself. I want to show that I care, and I do. I show it in specific ways by going and helping out with cleaning or bringing lunch and visiting and spending that kind of time with others. And so what just popped in is how important it is to have times. If I feel really privileged to have had this a full month on my own where I'm restoring my whole being. And when I'm home, it's part of the mindset, but also ensuring that I take those moments to be still, to go for walks, and really let myself know, yes, this is a commitment to myself. It could be sitting, having my cup of tea, and reminding myself, yes, this too. And so it can be those moments, or it can be those extended periods.
Well, and sometimes having the extended period gives you insight to how important having those moments in your regular life are. And also, if we bring the analogy back to the cage, what is the cage? Is the cage of our own making. And if we give ourselves those moments that are so restorative, then do we remove the cage or open the door of the cage wide, and we're able to go in and out as we wish.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it back to the cage, because that was coming into my mind. It's almost like the key to the cage is that internal awareness of what we need and how we are taking charge, taking responsibility for that, and recognizing it. And it's okay to open the door, lift the cage, pull the cage on.
So
we're the keepers of our own cages.
Yes, and one time I had this. I was in a poetry retreat, and the assignment was to draw a picture of yourself, sort of before and after this poetry retreat, and I drew myself in a cage before, and then I drew myself dancing outside of the cage at the end, and what I realized in that moment was I had the key and the door actually was never locked. But I just didn't see that it was possible. Maybe I didn't even notice the cage, So sometimes it takes noticing the cage in order to know what to do with it. So,
yeah.
With that, we invite you to observe your own lives and notice if you feel like you're in some kind of a cage. And if you do, feel around in your pockets and see if you got a key. Maybe try the handle and see if it's open. And remember that the relationships that are important to you include the one that you have with yourself. So until next time, Mo, how would people get in contact with you?
Caley-Verdonk.com. And you, Maureen?
MaureenMayhew.com. So until we see you again, have a wonderful day.
Yeah.